News 5 begins now with breaking news.
Again tonight, Cleveland continues its championship ways.
The Indians now one step closer to the World Series after sweeping the Red Sox to move on to the American League Championship Series. Oh, we are pumped. It's a huge night for our Indians as they win their first playoff series since 2007.
It was something. Andy Baskins here. They had us on the edge of our seats most way through this game tonight at Fenway Park.
Man, it was great, wasn't it? The magic continues for this city. It was really amazing. The Indians set down the Red Sox, who scored more than 100 runs more than the Tribe during the regular season. They held them to just 3 runs in the last 19 innings. It's remarkable. And it came down to this. Cody Allen getting the final out of the game when it ends up right there. Time to celebrate. They win 4-3. Terry Francona just talked to the media.
I don't care where it is. I respect that we beat a heck of a team, but to celebrate with our guys, that's what was meaningful for me.
Outstanding. And you know it was emotional for him because he used to coach the Red Sox. He was the manager there before. The American League Championship Series starts Friday here in Cleveland. The Tribe will take on the Toronto Blue Jays. Mark Shapiro's there now, ran the Indians for years. Limited number of tickets go on sale for Friday and Saturday's game. They'll go on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. We'll have more from Terry Francona and the players coming up in sports. Danita.
More breaking news, and this isn't good. In Geauga County, a tour bus struck a car, and we've just learned someone died from that accident. These grainy images of blue and red flashing lights just in from the scene. The accident happened on State Road 528 north of 322. The scene of the accident just cleared a few moments ago, and the road has reopened.
And we have more breaking news out of the east side, where a shooting on Wood Hill has now left a man dead. This is video of the scene shortly after that shooting happened. You can see a local food mart here riddled with bullet holes, crime scene tape draped over the sidewalk. It's a frightening scene for anyone who lives in this area. Police have not released information yet on the shooter.
Only on 5, there is a growing problem in Cleveland tonight, and it involves people illegally dumping boats on the city's west side. And as you can imagine, people are pretty fed up, and they want the illegal dumping to stop now.
Right now, on your side, investigator Joe Paganakis took the case to City Hall to get answers. And Joe, the man responsible here is actually trying to turn this around on homeowners who have nothing to do with it.
Yes, that's right. We asked the city why the delays in bulk pickup and what they're going to do about this watercraft wasteland.
I mean, come on, if you've got a boat, you put it in the water. You don't put it in my alley.
Pat Polk is talking about the 8 abandoned boats that have been dumped in 7 different locations on Cleveland's west side. Many of the boats were cut up into pieces, while others, heavily damaged, were left in one piece, blocking alleyways. But it's not just boats. It's chopped up cars, so heavy residents can't move them to their tree lawns for bulk pickup. And when they do get junk items out front, some homeowners like Azul Diamato told me these items like this mattress just sit there for months.
That right there probably got bed bugs in it. So you let your kids outside to play, and then they come back from that and bring it in your house.
They say you're not picking up often enough. How do you answer to that? I took this case to Public Works Director Mike Cox. He says some homeowners break the rules, putting out more than the 3-item maximum.
They put more things on the tree lawn than they should. Now, we sent letters to everyone, every homeowner that we could find. We told them what that process was. And the process has been in place now for over a year.
And as for this new abandoned boat phenomenon, Pat Polk has some advice.
If you really want to get rid of your boat, bring it over to my house all in one piece. I'll relieve you of it.
And Cleveland police are looking for the boat bad guy. Meanwhile, Director Cox says he's investigating these delays in bulk pickup. He says residents can order pickup or they can report problems by calling the hotline 216-664-3711. Reporting live here at Cleveland City Hall, I'm investigator Joe Paganakis, News 5.
And we are still learning new information tonight about the deadly officer-involved shooting that happened in Westlake this morning and the suspected robber who was killed, Devin Desnoyers. The FBI is now helping Westlake police determine if he was the same suspect involved in a string of drugstore robberies in Northeast Ohio, including this one at the CVS on West Boulevard in Cleveland on September 5th. Opioids were taken in those robberies.
This is the toll that drugs are taking on our community. Someone is dead, officers didn't come to work this morning expecting to get involved in this kind of episode, and I wish parents and children and our lawmakers would look at this very sternly and say, what else can we do to prevent stuff like this from happening?
Today's officer-involved shooting started with a robbery at the CVS on Detroit Road in Westlake. The suspect fled in a white car and crashed at the intersection of Crocker and Detroit. Shots were fired and Desnoyers died at the hospital. Officers found either a real gun or a realistic-looking fake one at the scene. 2 officers fired shots, a 38-year-old with 13 years experience and a 28-year-old with 3 years experience. Both are men on administrative leave tonight, which is usual after an officer-involved shooting. As for Devin Desnoyers, we found an open case out of Cuyahoga County. He was arrested in April and indicted in July on burglary, theft, and aggravated theft for break-ins at apartments in Fairview Park. And these are mugshots that you see right here to my right from his arrest. Desnoyers posted bond, then had a new order out for his arrest last month after he didn't show up for a pretrial hearing.
We've got a warning now for anybody with a Galaxy Note 7 smartphone. Samsung is telling you to turn it off now. They just stopped sales of the phones after what were supposed to be safe replacements for the combustible originals were bursting into flames themselves. Those breaking developments come one day after Samsung halted production of the Galaxy Note 7s. They say everybody with one of those phones should turn them off and either get a different phone to replace it or get a refund. Many of the major carriers had already stopped selling even the replacement phones while investigators looked for the cause of the fires.
We are going to be working around the clock to make sure that we can get to the bottom of this.
And then there's this. Authorities in South Korea say they found a new defect in the Note 7 and have asked users to turn them off. They won't say right now what that problem is.
Late breaking news out of Florida, where a young girl who police say was kidnapped by a family friend was found safe and sound tonight, 800 miles from her home. You're taking a look at new video of that little girl. You see her there. She was found in Tennessee, and a sigh of relief tonight. Police do not believe anything bad happened to the girl while she was away from her parents.
We're excited. Anytime we can recover a baby from all information we receive now, healthy and well, and the guy responsible for it's locked up, it's a great day.
Police are trying to understand why the family friend took the child. It's been blamed for a rash of deadly overdoses in Akron, then in Cincinnati.
And now the Richland County coroner thinks carfentanil, an extremely potent opioid normally used on large animals, is at least in part to blame for 4 recent overdose deaths there. Mansfield police say whether it's heroin, fentanyl, carfentanil, or another drug, they are now responding to an average of 4 overdoses a day. And carfentanil is getting more popular because the high is so powerful. Yet, no matter how many times they overdose, addicts will often go back to the same dealer and will not turn them in.
We cannot arrest our way out of it, so here we're pushing the treatment, prevention, along with enforcement.
Here are the numbers: 361 overdoses inside city limits so far this year. Most are heroin and fentanyl related. Of those overdoses, 25 have been overdose deaths.
The temps are dropping already down to 40 degrees in Worcester. Look at Youngstown 39, Ashtabula 43. Slightly milder around the big cities, 50 in Cleveland, at Hopkins downtown 53. And middle and upper 40s for Akron and Canton. But look at this, we've got a frost advisory inland areas. We are going to see some very chilly lows tonight. And again, there'll be a few clouds in and out, but those really aren't going to do a lot to keep that heat in. So get ready hour by hour here. Let's show you where we're going to be as we get up and go. 7:45 a.m. There's some frost there near Worcester, Canton, Akron, Ravenna, Dover, New Philly. Yeah, a frosty start. You're going to have to scrape off those windshields. Allow yourselves a few extra minutes.
I was prepared to go to jail and lose my law license if that meant that my child's life could be saved.
A father desperate to help his son and others like him, but he's running into a big roadblock. All new at 11, the controversial treatment that the state medical board is blocking for patients with epilepsy.
And last night's debate drew no shortage of fireworks, but when it comes to interest, well, that's another story. The big reason people decided not to watch.
Plus, Facebook creeping into the workplace in a way you won't get in trouble for. We'll take a look at their new invention. Well, Facebook has something new up its sleeve. They are launching a new service called Workplace, and it works just like Facebook with groups and news feeds, but it's focused on just the company you work for, giving employees a way to follow work news and organize groups. It's completely separate from your personal Facebook page, and you don't need an individual account to use it. More than 1,000 businesses are already using Workplace, which comes with a monthly fee.
Yeah, you may have noticed prices at the pump starting to creep back up again. AAA says gas prices are up about 20 cents here in Ohio, making it average out now at about $2.29 a gallon. Average price in Ohio at this time last year, $2.50, an almost 20-cent difference from what the national average was. Prices at the pump have partly gone up because of pipeline disruptions and maintenance. A local father is on a quest to help epilepsy patients like his son gain access to a controversial new treatment, but tonight, he tells News 5 he's hitting a roadblock.
And only on News 5, our Megan Hickey is digging into this issue. So, Megan, what is this treatment and why is there so much red tape involved?
Danita, the treatment is medical marijuana, and the red tape involves doctors and when they can actually start recommending the treatment. Tonight, the state medical board says it won't be anytime soon.
Yellow.
Just a year ago, playing games like this,
And that switches it, and then you get to go again.
would have been impossible for 9-year-old PJ Patton.
His gross motor skills were so compromised he could not use a spoon.
Ravaged by multiple seizures every day, starting at the age of 6.
His physician thought that PJ was going to be dead in 6 months.
His father, David Patton, tells me they ran out of treatment options, and that's when he started pushing for medical marijuana in Ohio. Last month, the Patton family believed they'd won a hard-fought battle. That is, until the Ohio State Medical Board told doctors they could not recommend it yet.
I would call it a cop-out. They've taken the issue and they have punted.
Patton is talking about Section 6 of the law, known as the affirmative defense. That allows patients to legally possess medical marijuana starting last month, but it requires a doctor recommendation. And in a statement, the medical board said that doctors will not be permitted to do that until the rules are developed, which could be another 11 months away. Luckily, PJ's seizures are now under control, but Patton tells me that if they return, right now he and other parents would be considered criminals for giving the medicine to their kids.
I was prepared to go to jail and lose my law license if that meant that my child's life could be saved.
In a statement, the medical board said that it recommends doctors consult their lawyers if patients raise concerns. The Ohio Patients Network is asking them to change their rule. Megan Hickey, News 5.
Well, it seemed like it was all anybody wanted to talk about, but there was actually a huge drop in the number of people who actually watched last night's presidential debate. 66.5 million people tuned in, compared to the record-breaking 84 million who watched the first one. That's a 20% decrease. Some say it was because of Sunday Night Football. Others say the race has gotten too nasty. But Facebook does say it was the most talked about debate ever on that social network. Both candidates hit the campaign trail the day after that debate, Donald Trump making stops across Pennsylvania. The latest in Wilkes-Barre, where he brought a baby up on stage, dressed just like him.
Now, he's supposed to look like Donald Trump, but he's actually much too good looking. You are really handsome.
Trump also told his supporters to keep an eye on the election so it's not stolen from them. He also said Hillary Clinton's crooked as a $3 bill. Meanwhile, the chairman of the RNC announcing today he will stick with Trump, but condemned what he said about women in those recently released recordings from 2005. As for Clinton, she campaigned in Columbus tonight, and of course she brought up Trump's controversial comments about women, what he's been calling locker room banter.
A lot of athletes and coaches from the NBA, from Major League Baseball, from the NFL and more have been coming forward, tweeting. They've been saying, no, that's not what happens in our locker rooms.
Clinton stopped by Ohio State to encourage students to register to vote on the night before the deadline.
Well, people who live in Florida will have more time to register to vote thanks to Hurricane Matthew. A federal judge extended tomorrow's deadline until 5 p.m. on Wednesday. Florida's Democratic Party sued the governor for not extending the deadline because of evacuations, which they say may have stopped people from registering. Also, we have some incredible images tonight of the devastation Matthew left behind in Florida and North Carolina. You can see the water so high it almost reaches the roof of homes, and rivers are still rising. Hurricane Matthew is blamed for at least 5 deaths in Florida. The storm also killed people in North and South Carolina, Georgia, and of course Haiti, where the death toll has now topped 900. Many are still missing. If you want to help victims, be careful because one woman in Indiana is already accused of scamming people. It's usually best to give through a bank, community fund, or a nonprofit organization.
15 inches of rain. Remember what we said Thursday and Friday would be the big story of the weekend.
Haiti.
Not the wind. Haiti would be the storm surge and the flooding rain.
Yeah.
Wow. Matthew is done. All right. And I want to start the weather by showing you this freeze frame of our sunset from tonight. Let's just feel good.
Ooh.
Let's feel good in Cleveland. Our tribe. We're going to the AL Championship Series.
Yes.
This is great news. That is a beautiful sunset via our tower cam. Love seeing that. We have some of the best sunsets in fall. Let me bring on up downtown Cleveland and show you we got 53 degrees in the big city now because, of course, the asphalt and cement like to hold the heat in a little bit. We still have our frost advisory in effect outside of Cuyahoga County and Lorain County and Lake County. Northern Ashtabula County near the lake, not in it. But inland, Worcester, Akron, Canton, Kent, Ravenna, Youngstown, Millersburg, Medina. I think tomorrow morning, low to mid-30s, yep. Frost on the windshield, yep. On the rooftops. If you've got houseplants on the deck, bring them in. Bring them in. 50 degrees right now. Southerly breezes, 5 miles per hour. Here we go, 44-degree dew points. We've got a few little clouds here and there, but we'll call this mainly clear and starry. Those high, thin clouds are not going to do anything to us. I want to show you, doggone it, this is creeping a little bit closer to us. This is snow in Montana. southern Canada here. So the cold air is building, not going to come just yet. We get a couple of nice warm days here. We get this little system moving out of the way, and I'll show you the snow again. The computer likes the snow. I don't like the snow. I'm not ready for the snow. Here's the high doing its job. The high is going to sit over us for about 2 days and allow these warm southerly breezes to come in. So after a frosty night tonight, we get a little break. We warm up into the upper 60s tomorrow. And I'm thinking middle, maybe even upper 70s on Wednesday. Not too shabby. Then the front arrives Thursday, and we chill back down. And by Thursday night into Friday morning, another round of frost likely for many of you. Tonight, 44 degrees, mainly clear. Inland frost, inland away from Lake Erie. Here we go tomorrow. I'm thinking 68. Lots of sunshine, mild and dry. Akron, Canton tonight, definitely frosty. You've got a frost advisory out. Mainly clear and starry. Tomorrow, 68 degrees. 7-day. Wednesday, how about that? There's your warm day, 78 degrees. And then front arrives Thursday. Morning rain showers. Look at the highs, 57. That's a chilly day. Thursday night into Friday morning, Greater Cleveland about 42. But again, inland areas, low to mid 30s. Another frosty start on Friday, 62. The weekend's looking good. Saturday, Sunday, I'm thinking Saturday dry, Sunday a few showers, but warming up a little bit. That's not bad if you're having a clam bake. Lower 70s. Let's play football.
We'll take that. You know, some people like to burn off their anger with a good workout, but now researchers say that's probably not a good idea.
Uh-oh, a new study shows...
Not a good idea.
No, intense exercise when you're stressed out can actually triple your risk of having a heart attack within an hour. The risk is the highest between 6 p.m. and midnight.
Learn something every day. Here's another health alert tonight. Researchers finding that certain blood pressure medications could increase your chance for depression. New study found people taking beta blockers or calcium channel antagonists doubled their risk of being hospitalized for mood disorders, but those taking ACE inhibitors had a lower risk of developing depression.
Okay.
Follow that, Andy.
Don't work out and don't take beta blockers.
There
I learned
you go.
everything I know.
Watch baseball.
We have the schedule for the American League Championship Series straight ahead and more reaction from Boston. The big night for the Indians. They're moving on.
comes. Fly ball. Shallow right. Chisenhall. Cleveland wins, and the Indians are headed to the American League Championship Series. They have swept the Boston Red Sox.
Oh, the champagne is always sweet, isn't it? Now, the Indians are 4 games away from the World Series. They will host Toronto on Friday night after knocking the Boston Red Sox out in 3 games in the best-of-5 series. We pick it up in the top of the 4th tonight. The Indians got on the board first. Tyler Naquin driving in the first 2 runs of the game after Coco Crisp laid down a perfect bunt to move both the runners into scoring position. 2-1 Indians, top of the 6th. Speaking of Coco Crisp, the shot over the monster. It's 4-1 Indians. Josh Tomlin did a really nice job tonight. 5 innings, gave up 2 runs. The second run came up here off of Andrew Miller, who was on in relief. It was 4-2. The Indians had the lead. The Red Sox made it into a nail-biter, scoring in the 8th, 4-3. They got the run, but the Indians were able to step out there and get that last out of the game, and they go on to win 4-3, taking the series 3-0.
You just kind of take a deep breath and, let it all out, and, we're going to enjoy tonight, and then we're going to take a couple days to get ready for Toronto. It was just kind of like...
All right, so here's the way the American League Championship Series will shake out. The Indians will host the first 2 games of this series, 8 o'clock on Friday night. Then they come back on Saturday, and then they'll go on the road for the next 3. They would come back for games 6 and 7. Cavs preseason tonight in Atlanta. The Cavs playing with backups. Wow, the dunk. Corey Jefferson. Will we remember his name when the final roster is set? I don't know. Cavs lose, though, to Atlanta 99-93. The Browns are feeling the after effects of yesterday's loss to the Patriots. Both quarterbacks, Cody Kessler, Charlie Whitehurst, were hurt during the game. Kessler is now listed as day-to-day. Whitehurst's status is unknown, but he did return in yesterday's game. And the team's original starting quarterback and center, Cam Irving and Josh McCown, have both been cleared to practice this week.
We just have had our share of bad luck, in my opinion, and it's unfortunate, but we'll get this turned around where we'll have maybe too many quarterbacks standing at some point.
The Browns still looking for their first win of the season. Don't forget the Hugh Jackson Show right here on News 5 Thursday night at 7, and then Saturday again, a replay at 11:30. It's the Hugh Jackson Show only on News 5. By the way, don't forget Indians single-game tickets for the ALCS go on sale tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We'll talk more about that when we come back.
All right, so here's how it's shaping up for the rest of the week. All right, on the Jeep, Rob Powers, it's windows down tomorrow, 68. Wednesday, it's windows and top off.
Okay, on Wednesday.
78. Thursday, top on.
Heater on.
Windows up, heater on, 57. And
You
then
can
for your
have the
weekend,
top down with the heater on. I've done that before.
Can you really?
Yeah, I've done that.
All right, then Friday a little chilly. I think
knows how
top's
to do
still
it.
on. All right. Then your Saturday, I'm thinking maybe top halfway off.
I don't know. Browns 5K Saturday morning?
Yeah, Browns
Tribe game?
5K. You're looking at probably 50 to 55 degrees for the Browns. I'll be running it. Rob Powers is going to run it. We're going to be running the Browns 5K.
I'll be getting ready to work. Hey, by the way, tickets go on sale at 10, not 9. 10, not 9.
Tribe tickets.
Tribe tickets.
Good night.
Top off.
10.
On the Jeep.
Yeah, clarify.